an appraisal that Fifth Third ordered. I don't order the appraisal. It's completely separate. It's separation of duties. So the REVG, which is the Real Estate Valuation Group, orders the appraisal. They review the appraisal. We get it to put it in the file, but it's not as a lender's responsibility to. I mean, they have real estate appraisers that review it. It's their expertise.
And I'll come to that in a minute, but this is one of the documents that the bank routinely orders before it originates a commercial loan.
A commercial real estate loan, yes.
You already reviewed my motion to admit.
Objection, improper foundation.
Overruled.
So you can now turn to tab 38.
This is the white book.
Yes, I'm sorry, in the City Center book. I'm sorry to keep moving you back and forth.
It's white. It's the white
Tab 38.
The white book. It's 38, right? 38 in the white book. It's too many.
So on September 20, 2005, Fifth Third ordered this appraisal.
On September 20th, 2005, the appraisal was completed.
Okay. And it was ordered by John Olson from Fifth Third?
Correct.
And it was received by Fifth Third on October 14th, 2005. You see the stamp at the top?
Yes, you're correct.
And just for the witness only for a moment, could you turn to tab 39? Is that Mr. Wilson's review of the appraisal on October 18th, 2005?
Yes, that appraisal.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Exhibit 39.
Woodward.
I object based on the fact that based upon my previous objection that the appraisals, there's not sufficient foundation, therefore this document is irrelevant.
So noted. Overruled. You may turn to page Exhibit 39, was it?
Yes, tab 39.
White book.
And this is the actual internal review and verification done by the in-house appraiser, John Olson, isn't it?
Correct.
And could you read the last two sentences of bullet point 1 under significant observations?
Apparently, the only space with a foreseeable tenant is the subject restaurant, which constitutes 21,600 square feet, or 27.53% of the 78,459 square foot center, and that the tenant will be the owner of the center.
So on October 18th, everyone in the bank knew that Rich Plank was going to be the tenant, and he was going to occupy all of Building 6 for a restaurant.
Well, Mr. Olson knew it.
This was 3 days before City Center loan was originated by Fifth Third.
Before the loan documents were signed, executed, correct.
And you told your boss, Dan Yentich, that Rich Plank was going to occupy this building and open a restaurant, didn't you?
I may have, yeah, but if that's the case, I mean, he can occupy the restaurant as long as we knew there was going to be a takeout, as long as we knew that we were going to be paid off and he was going to refinance it elsewhere.
Well, he was going to occupy it as a tenant, wasn't he?
He can occupy it as a tenant. He can still refinance the property, even though he's a tenant.
A tenant is someone who leases the property from the landlord.
Correct, but that landlord can still pull that building out of that project and still refinance that specific building.
And you said you went by the site several times before you originated the loan. Yes?
Yes, early when I first was looking at the deal, yeah.
And the sign was out front, wasn't it?
I do not recall that that sign was out there or not.
So you had the plans that showed Hawk's Nest. You had Rich telling you he was going to run a restaurant. your appraiser knew, you knew this was going to be Rich's restaurant, didn't you? Or the Plank family as a whole.
And again, Rich can occupy the restaurant, but as long as we had a takeout that it was going to be refinanced out of the bank upon the completion of the building being built, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Could you show me an email or a letter or anything where you told Rich, wait a minute, this restaurant that you've planned, we're not going to be part of it?
No, I don't know that I know of. I mean, of the emails that have been shown me, I don't have an email of that account. But that doesn't mean I didn't discuss it with Mr. Plain.
And there's no terms or conditions in the loans that you prepared that said, Mr. Plain, you can't rent this, are there?
No, but it says that that building, that it was the plans that that building was going to be sold and moved it.
Are you going back to your email?
And I'm going back to my original approval that notes that the plan was that that building would be paid off and refinanced or sold and pay down our loan.
When you said there was going to be some other restaurants.
Okay, but even if it's, again, it goes back to if Mr. Plank changed his mind and he's going to occupy it, as long as that, we have a takeout and it's going to be refinanced, it can still be, moved off the loan. That was always the plan, even if he was going to occupy.
It is possible, but is there any documentation that you've seen that says it was going to be moved off the loan?
Only the discussion with Mr. Plain.
Well, as of October 18th, he's going to be a tenant. He's going to occupy the whole building.
Again, he can be a tenant and move the loan. He can have there's 6 buildings, there's 6 different parcels. So that one building can be refinanced out of the loan to another institution.
And that's nowhere in the loan origination, is it?
Not that I've seen.
Now let's go back to tab 17 for a minute.
Which book?
Of the city circle.
White book.
The white book,
Ladies
yes.
and gentlemen, is that admitted? 17 admitted?
Yes, sir.
You can look at 17.
Then if you look at page 690, you see the plans show residential, don't they?
It does in that situation, in this building. But it also shows it on page 684 that there are rental suites or rental unit, which is office.
Sure, this is a mixed use. There's going to be office, there's going to be retail, there's going to be residential.
We've never had any discussion of residential.
Well, you have plans in your file that show residential. Did you look at them?
I'm sure it did.
So you saw these plans that were submitted in April that showed residential.
If these were the plans that were submitted when I got it, then yes.
And you also looked at the permits, didn't you?
No.
Well, you had those submitted to you.
Typically, the permits are reviewed by construction escrow department. It's not something that we review.
I'm going to show you Exhibit 33. Mr. Plank had submitted zoning, appeared before the city of Crown Point, and obtained zoning to have this residential, didn't he?
Yeah, it appears he did.
And he submitted this to the bank.
I'm not aware that he submitted it to the bank.
Well, this is from the bank's file, isn't it?
I don't know.
Aren't these the things that you collected?
No, I don't. I don't know if it's in the bank's file or not.
The only reason is for initially to the 33rd is that's the reference.
Is it in the white book?
Not yet, I have it right here.
All right.
Objection, hearsay foundation.
Your Honor, it's a public document. It comes out, it's testified, I'm fine, testified, it's fine.